And cool is such a vague aspiration for life, but when you're the only black girl on your street and you're the only African girl in your very suburban American schools, cool is everything. So what makes someone cool? Who can tell me if I'm cool? Is there a cool center of the universe? How does one acquire cool points in real life? Well, the cool people to me are the people that inspire you. They're the influencers. And the biggest influencer I know is Oprah Winfrey. So basically, I wanted to be Oprah. The Oprah of West Africa. Now, the Oprah of West Africa had to wear West African clothes. I would venture around town in my contemporary, sometimes frisky, African dresses, capturing life in Monrovia with a cameraman in tow. The business idea didn't even come to me until I went to my seamstress to pick up my dress, 2 weeks late because she was late, as always. And when I walked in, she was wearing a copy of the dress I designed. Her customer was wearing a copy of the dress I designed. My dress was ready for pickup, but then her tailor was still sewing another copy of the dress I designed to sell in her store. Her customer looked at me and said, "You will not come in here and steal our style." And I couldn't even acknowledge her because I was too busy calculating how much money was being made from my design. I walked out of there and thought, you know what? Being Oprah is not making me that much money. Why not give designing a try? I started off with 10 copies of 8 styles of dresses in a suitcase that I opened up at a party at my friend's photo studio in Atlanta. My sisters helped me and I sold out of everything that night, and I did some more calculations and realized I had made more money that night than I did in an entire year trying to be Oprah. I used that money, bought a ticket, came back to Liberia. My mom and my stepdad hired me to be their driver. $550. That was all the money that I had for my first collection. So then my dad let me sell dresses out of the back of the pickup truck. I would be driving and my mom would be right here and there'd be nothing but inventory in the back. Nobody else could fit. I slowly gained a clientele. I would sell one dress, save half, make 2 more, sell another dress, save half, make another 2 more, until finally I outgrew the truck. So then my dad allowed me some retail space inside the family compound. And that's how Mango Rags, my Monrovia boutique, was born. And honey, Mango Rags made me the ultimate cool girl, okay? I would go out at night and girls would be looking fierce in clothes that I designed. And when you ask them, where'd you get that? They always said, it's Archel. And they always said it with a little bit of sass too. It's Archel. It was the Archel effect, which was kind of like the Oprah effect, just really smaller, a little less money, but still a lot of potential. I remember when I first opened my store and I would wait until the customers would leave and the employees would leave, and I would just sit down on the floor, looking up at all my clothes, and in turn my dreams, my fears, my savings. The fact that I never went to fashion school, the fact that I didn't go to business school, and here I was opening a fashion business. You girl, what are you doing? I would say to myself. But then time did what time does, and I got good at it. I started to stand up when I entered my store, and I would look at my clothes and my dreams eye to eye. I started to talk to myself nicer. I would say, girl, you got this. Or as we say here, I'm able it will hold. I specifically remember Mango Rag's 1-year anniversary party. We had a rooftop party at the hottest restaurant in Liberia for free. They asked us to come. They knew that we could bring the crowd. Nothing but the baddest chicks in all of Liberia, all wearing Mango Rags. Packed house for my accidental business. Now, how cool was your girl then? You couldn't tell me nothing. Not even when I started to hear whispers of a little virus that had killed 2 people way out in rural Liberia. What is Ebola? Is that going to affect us? home and my shop and everything that made me cool a few months later. I closed the shop and I hugged my employees, and I didn't know when I would be back. I didn't know who would still be alive when I came back. I didn't know what Liberia would look like when I finally got the opportunity to return. So I went and spent 5 months at my mama's house looking for purpose. Very millennial of me. Tough times happen, you move back in with your mama. She gives you chores, she doesn't care if you're in your late 20s, you move back in with your mama. You gonna work. I had been cool, but cool became trivial in the face of feeling helpless, and I wanted something that would last. How could my cool make an impact? And how could I work with other women like me who had big dreams also? Now, while I was on my mama's couch, I discovered things like Tinder, and I was shopping for dates, like I was shopping for dresses. And my sister put me on to Lyft, and I was like, even a broke girl like me can afford express car service? And I realized that the really cool people were the ones who were disrupting our everyday lives. So the question then became, how could I improve our everyday lives in Liberia? January 1st, 2015, I bought a ticket back to Liberia. Ebola or no Ebola, I had to go be where my heart was. The Bombchel factory came to me as I met the incredible women who were focused on surviving and thriving while I was out here just trying to be cool. Now, Mango Rags is my business, but it was born for selfish reasons, and there's no space for selfish businesses in the world. Mango Rags is still my baby, but the Bombshell factory is where the magic happens. If you've never heard of it, the Bombshell factory is the African fashion wonderland based right up the street in the heart of Monrovia, where we hire and train women from backgrounds of poverty to sew clothes that we sell all around the world. Now, when you come to a TED Talk, you're supposed to learn something. So I've got the 3 biggest lessons that I've learned in the 3 years since I've opened the Bombshell factory. Number 1, it is our duty to fight for our country using every talent we've got in our bones. I went to Georgia Tech. It's an engineering school. And now I make clothes. Now this work is less of a leap and more of a push as I pay homage to the women who've come before me. I have to earn the right to call myself a Liberian woman. Liberian women ended a war, they healed our sick, and they ended Ebola. To be Liberian is to make a way out of no way, and it is my duty to give it all that I've got. I aim to open Africa's first no-waste, all-recyclable garment factory by the year 2020. And do you know why this is possible? It's possible because I'm a Liberian woman, and we've done way harder things than that. Number 2, we are not a place in despair in need of charity, because each and every one of us can grab at any opportunities present and turn those into advantages for our communities without excuses. When we speak a hardship as a reason why not, that hardship becomes our permanent handicap, and we're better than that. Comparison is truly the thief of joy. So when we talk about our West African neighbors and say, why can't our tourism sector thrive like in the Gambia? What we should be saying is, our beaches are so beautiful and we still have the opportunity to turn them into whatever we want them to be. My favorite is when the older crowd says, back in the 70s, Ghanaians used to come to Liberia for toilet paper and soap. Now look at them and look at us. When really we should be proud to say, as a united, resilient West Africa, I'm excited to grow and learn together. So many of us as individuals feel sidelined in the policy making and policy implementing processes. I'm here to tell you, entrepreneurship is for us. Community development is our task. Growth is up to us. And finally, the cool people, the really cool people are the ones that lead with compassion. Every day they're blessed for their feet to hit the floor. And to bring this point home, I'm going to tell you about our very first bombshell named Beatrice. Beatrice's husband died during Ebola. Now, they weren't living together at the time as he was working in rural Liberia, but when she found out he had Ebola, she rushed to be with him at the hospital. For 3 days, Beatrice walked around the hospital looking for her husband. Finally, she ran into the EMT that drove him. The EMT told Beatrice that her husband had died on the way and they had disposed of his body days ago. Beatrice and I are the same age, and she was widowed at 25. She would then return to her community, where they promptly outcasted her, saying that she was bringing Ebola to them. Unable to read, unable to write, and without any formal skill to do work, Beatrice then moved across town to live with a friend. Now, when I met Beatrice, she was really, really shy. I didn't know how she would do in our program because her only work experience had been selling fish. But she told me, Jose, I'm not doing nothing, so this one I will learn. After having worked with us from our opening, Beatrice has dressed thousands of women. Beatrice has learned how to read, how to write, and Beatrice pays tuition for her 17-year-old daughter to go to school. Not for nothing, Beatrice trained the woman who made the dress that I'm wearing today. Beatrice is a really, really cool woman. Now, I don't want you to think that Ebola is the main part of our story, because no, it is absolutely not. When we first made the shirts for the Bombchel factory, they said the word survivor on the back. And I didn't mean survivor of Ebola, I just meant survivor of all the things, like, I'm a survivor! When it came time to make new shirts, the women were like, I don't want to be known as a survivor, I'm a bombshell. I earn my own money. I have tripled my income. I have started school. I have built my own home. I have left abusive relationships. I opened my very first savings account and I put money in it every month because I work hard, because I'm a bombshell. It is our victories that define us and nothing else. And who knows, maybe Destiny's Child can add a line. And I'm a bombshell, because they are. My initial vision of what it meant to be cool was so limited. What's really cool is fighting the good fight for your communities, for your environment, for yourselves, for your children. And what's even cooler is that I get to do it every single day around women who are like me. I intend to be a bombshell and work hard and earn that title Liberian woman until the day that I die. But should Oprah's job become available at any point, let her know there's a really cool girl in Monrovia who just might be interested. Thank you.